Cowabunga, dude. Isn't The Last Ronin a story about the last remaining Ninja Turtle? Why do you sound so happy? Hey everyone, my name is Kevin and welcome back to the channel. In today's video, we're taking a look at the NECA Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Last Ronin Unarmored version. Hot damn, that was a very long name. So I really wanted to check out this figure as I'm a fan of the Ninja Turtles, especially with the old cartoon back in the 90s. But the story of the Last Ronin intrigued me and I really wondered who the last turtle was. I don't want to say any spoilers, so just go read the comic book, or if you're like me who just wants to listen, go to Comic Story. They have the complete series there. Go take a look, or in this case, take a listen. Thank you to Collectors Quest PH for selling this at an amazing price. Yes, I did get it on Shopee, and yes, it was on sale, and yes, I did get it with Shopee vouchers. But all in all, I was able to get this and this Pokemon Trick or Trade booster pack for just 1,300 pesos. So pretty much a steal. What we aim to answer in this video is 1, is this any good for photography? 2, should you start collecting this? 3, and most importantly, should I start collecting this? Because, you know, it is a whole line. There are many figures to this line. Should I start? So before we look at the box and all its components, let's take a look at the booster pack first. So we have the Pokemon Trick or Trade booster pack here. So we have Sinistea, Marshadow, and we have Murkrow. This is the Last Ronin box from NECA. This is the number 2 in the set. If you collect all these figures, you will have an art piece that will be very good in your shelf, which will show different pictures of the box. And for NECA, they have a window where you can see your figures. So for in-box collectors, this is actually really cool. This is the Last Ronin in all its figure glory. We have this futuristic looking Mauser, which looks really nice. It's a small figure, it's detailed. It's nice to have another figure within the figure. So this is a cool accessory. We have a Tonfa, we have the broken katana. This is Leonardo's katana. A Sai, more accurately, Raphael's Sai. A nunchuck, Michelangelo's nunchucks. What's really missing with the weapons is Donatello's bow staff. Is that an indication that this is Donatello? Actually, no, it's not. The first version of this, the armored version, had Donatello's bow staff, so I don't know what that guy was talking about. We have 5 additional hands, 2 grippy hands, 2 just laid out flat hands, and a pointy hand. We have Splinter's Diary, 4 knives, a slightly open mouth head with a removable headband thing they have. Then we have the figure. If you look at the sculpt of the Last Ronin, he's really nice. I loved how NECA painted this. It's a mix of comic booky because it has these kinds of comic book lines, but it is still very realistic. I love how they did dry brushing here, really nice. I love how they did the battle damage on the figure, even the scars the Last Ronin has. On the back side, we have this, the shell. We also have areas here where you can put in the different weapons, like the sword. It goes here. Then we have the Sai. Yeah, the Sai goes there. Then we'll have a place for the nunchucks right over here. Look at that. I already know this is good for photography, just visually. NECA's way of making figures is just really nice. I've ever only had one NECA figure, and that's the Frankenstein's Monsters figure over there, the black and white edition, and that's pretty much it. But this is really nice. The head, it's not really that good. It can barely move. Okay, it's like bad, but I think it's how this was sculpted here. This is on a ball joint. You can pull back like this, but it's a very slight movement. As you can see, that's pretty much the only thing you can get for the head. I really don't like how this is sculpted. It looks a bit weird. This is a very bad way of implementing this part here. Is it double jointed? Yes, there's a joint here, but this is the only range of motion you can do with the elbow. It's a little bit over 90 degrees. For the whole arm, you can only do this, as you can't really push this up very much as this is blocked by this sculpt here. There's no butterfly joint, so there are no movements there. You can rotate like that. For the waist, you have this motion here. I think this is still on a ball joint. You can do forward. It's not even that much. It's not even that evident, but it is there. You can look back like that. For the legs, it can go up just like that. Can't even because of how it's sculpted right here. You can kick back a bit further away. I mean, that's not bad, but that's pretty much it. This is still on a double joint. You can do that. The Last Ronin can't really kick his own butt. Then we have ankle movement. It's blocked by this sculpt here, the backside of the heel part of the figure. So you can't pull it back very far, but you can push it up just a bit like that, and you can rotate it. The paint is done amazingly well, but the articulation isn't that good. Because of this figure being a turtle, I think that it's a bit understandable that there is lesser movement compared to the figures that we've looked at so far. Let's see if in the photography side, despite the limited articulation, we can work on any of the setups that I plan to do. For the looks, 10 out of 10, looks really nice. For the articulation, I mean, it has basic movement, so I guess a 5 out of 10 if you were to ask me to rate it. But yeah, despite that, I think we can work with the articulation. So for the first setup, we will have the Last Ronin right here in this beautiful diorama that was created by Propsy24, a diorama maker, I think in Manila or somewhere in Luzon. This is actually an inspiration with the cover of The Last Ronin, where the Last Ronin is thinking of taking his life. I can really just follow this, but I wanted something else. This scene here depicts like he's really in agonizing pain with the loss of his brothers, and as well as, I think, probably survivor's guilt, especially that he's the only turtle that has survived. So we're going with that. As you can see in this camera here, we have the Last Ronin carrying the 4 bandanas of the brothers, the one for Leo, Donatello, Michelangelo, and Raphael too. I'm gonna be putting lights. If I turn that light off, we only have one light, which is the Godox SL60 light. Then I'll be putting the overhead light again. I'm going to be adding one very big light from behind. I actually added a few pieces of the diorama my friend Brian, Dr. Man Horror, made for me, which I'll also be featuring in the next setup. So yeah, I think we got it all. Let's just fix up the lights here. So we can see Last Ronin carrying Leonardo's sword. We have Raphael's sai. We have Michelangelo's nunchucks over there. This diorama has a piece right here, but I removed it so that we can add more light coming in. Okay, this part looks a bit weird, so I'm just gonna put that piece here so that it will extend the floor a bit. I'm going to add just a bit of light here. This is a small rig clamp you can use, so I just added this here, so I have the capability of just adding the light here. Probably gonna make this red. The Last Ronin is actually feeling like he's in hell. I hope this translates really well on the camera. For me now, it looks really good. So, all right, I think this looks good. So, I'm gonna take the shot. So for this setup, as I mentioned earlier, we're going to be using the diorama that my friend Brian from Dr. Man Horror has made. This is an alley scene. I am depicting the Last Ronin drinking Red Horse, and if you don't know what that is, in the Philippines, it's a very, very well-known beer or alcohol. It really tastes good. I like Red Horse. Sir Jay, thank you so much for selling this at a very good price to me as well. This is basically the setup as you can see right now. I'm going to be putting more pieces around, and you'll see that on my A7 IV. So yeah, let me adjust some of these things. I'll put in some trash over here. I have a ton of these Red Horse bottles, so we're gonna spread that around. I'm gonna have one light right here that will give a little bit of light from this side of his face. I'm going to be using this light as well. I'm swapping out the backdrop because this is still blue. This should be just black. I'm gonna be putting some of the weapons here as well. You'll see that maybe the nunchucks will be just here hanging around. The katana would be like leaning here. Splinter's diary will be somewhere here as well. Maybe right next to this bottle of Red Horse right there. We'll have the sai somewhere here. Maybe we'll also probably have the Mauser here. Okay, I need to swap this hand to this open hand. Cheeto droppings right here. What else do we need? I want to be adding a blue light here. Oh, not working at all. That's pretty much the setup. Let's see how it looks. For the final setup, I wanted the Last Ronin to be fighting ninjas, but Fortunately, I don't have ninja figures, so I decided to have the Last Ronin fight different characters or different figures that I have. So I have the Nightwing figure that I customized to become a Robin in a post-apocalyptic Gotham. That was how I was thinking about it. Then we have Wolverine right here. We have the Deadpool figure here. We have John Wick here. We have a Spider-Man figure there and a clown figure as well. In the A7 4-shot, you can see it as if they're to scale. They're really not to scale. My part of the figures are a bit taller, so I had them kneel down. I even had Wolverine kneel down to show that the Last Ronin is towering over Wolverine. It took time for me to set up each of the figures that I had here. For the lights, I'm using two Ulanzi lights right here to give focus more on the Last Ronin. We have the nice photo lights over here to show that the police is just around the corner, but they really don't want to intervene as this is a fight of superheroes and stuff. And I also have this light here I used to put light on top. This is already perfect, so let's take the shot. So, is this good for photography? I can honestly say it is. It's just that the articulation part of it really hinders the figure and how it's supposed to look in the photograph. But I mean, with what we have, with how amazing the sculpt looks and how the paintwork is done, I think it still gets a pass for the photography side. Now, should you collect this? If you're a fan of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, I would gladly say that this is a good starting point if you're into the more grittier or more adult version of the Turtles, as he's not really a teenager anymore and he's gone through a lot more than what we would see in a normal cartoon or in the normal comic book. There are so many figures in this line. I think there are like 10. If I'm not mistaken, I'll put a counter there. And the most important question, should I collect these and review all the figures? Well, I should, but I would love to hear you in the comment section below if you do want me to continue looking at these lines and doing photography as well. So that's it for the video. Thank you very much for watching. If you like this kind of content, make sure to subscribe to Kevin Collect and hit the notification bell to get notified on when my videos come out. Like this video if you liked it, and if you didn't, let me know why. If you're interested in watching my take on the Deadpool Legacy Collection Edition featuring Wolverine and Deadpool, check out this video right over here. And if you're interested on my first episode of To Me, My X-Men, check out this video right here. Thank you very much for watching. See you all later. Bye-bye.